What is up, everybody? It's Peace. Hi, welcome to another video. So I'm just going to go through the deck that I played in the last two matches that I posted on the channel. I cut the Dragon Link package, essentially, the Rockets mainly, but I cooked up something new. This iteration didn't do exactly what I wanted it to, so I'll be revamping it. I think I might try to include the Adventure package, maybe Magician Souls, but I'm determined to make this deck work. So I cut down the Thunder package. Batteryman Solar is down to 2. I wanted to reduce the normal summon count, and I actually reduced from 60 to 50 main deck cards. So 2 Batteryman Solar now, only 1 Thunder Dragon Roar, 2 Thunder Dragon Dark, and 1 Thunder Dragon Hawk. This is the absolute minimum that you need to play for the Thunder engine. I opted to not play the OG Thunder Dragon, even though I did incorporate more dangers in this one. But thinking about it, I made the correct choice. It's, unless you can Pendulum Summon, I don't think the OG Thunder Dragon is good anymore. It just plays into Droll, and then you just have 1 extra card in your hand. But yeah. So just these for the Thunder package, really small. Next up is the Bystials. So the Bystials are a major part of this. Honestly, if it was a better format for Bystials, I'd play even more, but this is the lineup. 3 Lubellion mandatory, and then 1 of each of the good names. Then the best normal summon in the game, Black Metal Dragon. By itself, it is the SP Colossus, and then you could do whatever you want with the rest of your hand. I'll show that combo at the end, I guess. Red Eyes Black Metal to go with it, and then Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon. Dude, this, I've opened so many of these out of Dune. This card is crazy. It really helps you extend. Next up, the Chaos package. 1 Starleaf Seifert. It's a decent normal summon, so this is the 6th normal summon. You got your 3 Black Metal and your 2 Batteryman Solar. All 6 of the normal summons can also function off of the Saryuja special summon effect. So that's cool. But this can search your baby dragons. These are the only level 4 dragons in the deck. What you could do is actually summon this and then send a Bystial to search Magnamut. Or you could, if you happen to have 2 of these, you can send 2 to search a level 8, like Lubellion or one of our other level 8s that we'll show you guys later. So 1 Seifert, 1 white, 1 black, 2 Levianeer, 1 Darkest Diablosis, Lord of the Lair for hand ripping. So ideally you'll activate this one first, and then you'll Levy Rip, so you have a 2-card hand rip with your Spheres or Apollousa, your Hope Harbinger, and your Colossus, which is really good. Usually you have Regained on field as well. Next up, the prize card, the Chaos Emperor Dragon. This card's really cool. It's still useful. It has applications for putting another level 8 body dragon on board, and then also being able to add from Banish Zone. Really cool. I decided to main the Eschatos, Arch Nemesis Eschatos. In hindsight, that was incorrect. You should only put this in if you know that your opponent is Tempai or something that loses to, if you call this a certain type, because you need to at least attempt to destroy the type. At least that's how I understand it. It is a dragon, so it's searchable by a spell card that I'll reveal later. But that's really the only way that you can search this out of your deck. Unfortunately, Chaos Space doesn't search level 11s or whatever level this is. But it's a cool tech. Unless your opponent has some way to stop it during your turn, they're not playing the game for the rest of the game, especially if they're like a 1-type trick pony, and you have access to that 1 type. But so mainly this is good against dragon decks. So why did I main deck it? I really don't know. Ask past Patrick. So that's the Chaos Engine. This goes really well with the dangers because you need to banish 3 different types of monsters from your field or graveyard. So the dangers make it so that you can actually satisfy this, because you'll always have dragons and thunders throughout your combo, but you need that one last attribute, which is why I played Dark Charmer in the extra deck as well. But I'm going to change it up, so that won't be necessary anymore because we're going to have like Magician Souls in the adventure package and all that jazz. Next up, just one more dragon, Brotar. This is really cute. If you draw it off of Saryuja, you can summon it and then discard, search a Levianeer, and then you can make Elpie, or not Elpie, I wish. You can make Pisty, bring back another dragon, and then make the Trishula fusion. It's really nice to have engrave too, because when your opponent's trying to go for a game, or even if it's in your hand, once you get something destroyed, you can special this out, and then it can activate its effect. But it's banished when it leaves the field, but who cares? It already served its purpose in saving your butt. Next up, the Danger Package. So one Jackalope, one Tsuchinoko, because that's all you can play. Back in the day, they played 3 and 3 of this, with 3 Nessie and a Mothman and a Bigfoot, so that's 11. So we played 1, 2, 1 Chupacabra. I hate when they hit this and I have no dangers in grave. 1 Mothman. It's really nice to have the draw. You don't want your opponent to have hand traps, but I mean, life is life. Triple Nessie, thank you for bringing it back to 3. And then I did include the 1 Bigfoot. It's nice to have a level 8. It's way better than Thunderbird too. It's got the biggest attack and it can pop face-ups. So we reduced it from 11 in 40 down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in 50. We're going to fix that ratio. I think there's some room to take stuff out. But honestly, adding the adventure package and the Magician Souls package is going to be tough there. So wrapping up the monsters, the 1 Cyphering Gear Gamma and the 1 Driver. So this is for Shifter and for Droll. You can also use it on Ash if your opponent gives you that opportunity. So say you have one of your searching cards as your first play, you can Gamma their first hand trap. Or on the Resolution, you can Gamma their Droll. Or you can just Gamma their Shifter, and you don't have to deal with their Shifter. Because decks that play Shifter in this format don't get hurt by it as much as you do, because you are playing the combo variant. But as you can probably see in the side deck, I do side 3 Shifter. There are some certain matchups that Shifter hurts your opponent far more than it hurts you, because you can still sometimes make a Colossus and a Heavenly Spheres under Shifter. And if your opponent literally cannot play under Shifter at all, then you would board those in. So that's all the monsters. It's a very monster-heavy deck. These combo piles usually are, because monsters are the best type of card in the game. Speaking of cards in the game, I have played no traps in the main, which is kind of funny. I should probably side Anti-Spell or something, but I decided against it. 1 Dragon Ravine, it's searchable by Romulus. 1 Branded Regained, you can place it with Lubellion. 2 of the card that I mentioned earlier, the Melody of the Awakening Dragon. So this searches out essentially all of your big dragons. The search targets are Escados, Chaos Emperor, your Diablosis, and your 2 Levianeers. So you got a lot of search targets. Really cool. Back in the day, you would just add 2 Levianeer, and you would always have the rank 8 play to be able to make your Hope Harbinger. But we have Lubellion now to make rank 8s, which is really cool. Shout out to Lubellion. Next up, 1 for 1. This is really useful. Depending on what you want to do, you can either go Black Metal, which is full combo by itself, and then you have 4 other cards in your hand, or well, 3 because this discards a monster. Or you go Brotar if you already have access to it, and then in the future you can just bring out the Magician Souls. Chaos Base, another really cool starter. Now that we're not playing the Dragon Link engine, it doesn't do as much by itself, because I think Chaos Base by itself was Borland before, with the discard in hand for the Ravine, so you can get the Tracer, bring it out, and do all those shenanigans. Yeah. You do the triple burst line with the Pisty, and you get Borland, which is cute, but like, we're not going for Borland anymore, obviously, now that we cut the Rocket package. So no more Tracer, no more Evil Swarm Nightmare. But still, this gives you Spheres, which is cute. Generally, you'll have 2 Danger Monsters or a Bestial or something. So this helps you climb into Saryuja. It's a really good extender. I would never cut it. And it can either put back one of your white or black dragons, or Levianeer, or a banished Lubellion, but really it's really good at recycling Striker Dragon because it's usually banished as part of your combo. Then some defensive cards. We do play Triple Tactics Talents at 3. I might reduce this. I mean, hand traps are prevalent. The whole idea of this is to still be able to make spheres, at least through a hand trap, even Droll, and then rip a card from your opponent's hand, and then just try to play around the rest of their hand. But I think in reducing the deck count and adding the adventure package, I could probably cut 2 of these and probably just play 1. I do think I've got Thrust in the side to search anything, but like I'm just thinking that it would be better to reduce the talents. But a mainstay is going to be Called by the Grave, which is the same logic as Ciphering Gear Gamma. And then because you can either hit your Shifter, the Droll, or the Ash, so like that's really good. And then a mainstay is Forbidden Droplet. You hate to see Droplet in your hand when your opponent shifters, but Droplet is just so good. It lets you play the game most of the time. It lets you live, because there are still crazy boards out there, even after the ban list. Just various disruptions and negates and stuff. And this is a cool card. If you're not using dangers with that hand, you can actually utilize it in the middle of your combo. So like, say you're trying to bait stuff and then they finally use it or something like that. It also gets around targeting because the Voiceless Voice deck can't be targeted because of barrier. That deck is crazy now post lead. Not too happy with my performance against that. The 1 token, hopefully I can summon an adventure token with this in the next iteration of the deck. But this is for your Batteryman Solar, so you can make your Saryuja. The mandatory effect to summon a token when a Thunder Monster is summoned comes up when you draw your Batteryman Solar. Fusions, we do have the 1 Colossus, welcome back. This card's not as oppressive as I thought it would be. But, I mean, it's been power crept for like 5 years or whatever. So, Trishula Fusion. This is what allows you to always get to your Thunder package. And I was able to afford to reduce it significantly. But if you can play with your dragons, you can make Colossus. So, I will show you the Black Metal by itself combo to let you guys know how you can make Colossus SP with just Black Metal Dragon, which is really cool. And hopefully you guys enjoy that combo. Only Synchro. As you can see, we don't have any tuners besides Ciphering Gear Gamma in the main deck. Or the side deck for that matter. Oh, well, no, we got 3 in the side deck, but we'll get to that later. Chaos Angel. So you can make this with White Dragon Wyver Burster, or Batteryman Solar, or what's it called? White Dragon Wyver Burster, Starly Safer, or Batteryman Solar. So those are your 3 level 4 lights with any Dark Bestial. Or if you're in a pickle, you can make this with 2 darks. But mainly you're going to be trying to make this with light and dark, and certain decks just can't out this. Just put it in defense and be like, all right, good luck. You better draw the Droplet or the Imperm or whatever. It's such a shame. I mean, this card would be too OP if it was unaffected by all effects, but it's just monsters, just like Borland. So this is your new Borland, guys. All right, Chaos Angel. Get your ulti in your OTS 24 pack. Next up, the 1 Xyz monster. We don't have to worry about being dark locked anymore, so we get to play our Light Hope Harbinger, which is really nice. I was thinking about playing Zombie Stein, but I like Hope Harbinger a lot better. It's like the in the old days, you would use this to protect your Heavenly Spheres from battle, so that they really like had to play around it because you can negate a spell and redirect attacks. But this card is just crazy still. Like, you always want to end on this with Spheres and Colossus at minimum, but sometimes you can get an SP as well. It can also protect your SP or your IP from battle, or your Apollosa if it only has like 1800 or 1600 or 800 attack. So really good mainstay of this strategy ever since back then. The rest is just link monsters. We have our 1 Striker Dragon. You just need as many link ones as possible. I thought about playing 2 Pisty, but the summon is hard ones per turn. So I mean, the second one would only come up if you're going into turn 3, but you know Yu-Gi-Oh! These days, you're not going to turn 3. Link 2s, we got the Heavenly Spheres and the Romulus for our Dragon package, so really good cards. I decided to keep this. You could probably cut this, but having access to Ravine can dump a couple of your really good cards, and it can get cards out of your hand, which is the main function of Ravine, which is why I'm really excited to try the Adventure Package, because the Adventure Package inherently has a discard outlet, so you can get the bricks out of your hand, and then once they're in the graveyard, you can use your Chaos Engine. This deck hard loses to Lancia, but we interact with the graveyard a lot. So Romulus is good because it searches a field spell that gets stuff out of your hand. And you can send it off of Magician Souls, which I hope to put into the deck. Triple Burst for your Link 3 so that you can do the combo with Pisty if you absolutely have to get a cool dragon on board. Then you can make spheres, or you can like layer up into Saryuja, or make a big Apollousa if you want. You can use your Pisty and your dragon that you summon back to make Romulus, search the field spell, make a 2-material Apollousa, and then go on from there. Finally, for the dragons, Saryuja is back. 2 of these come up sometimes, but I don't think I'm going to toy with that. I think I'm just going to keep the 1, because it's a little win more to try and go double Saryuja, because then your board is not going to have as much gas to or material to actually make a sufficient board. Like, sure, you'll end on Colossus, but you're probably sacrificing your rank 8 play in Hope Harbinger, and I'd rather make Hope Harbinger than draw 8 cards instead of 4. So I mean, like, next up we have IP and her boyfriend SP. Then we have Dark Charmer, because it's a spellcaster and you can put it in grave. I was between this and Cross Sheep, but Cross Sheep is just good for climbing up into Apollousa, and Cross Sheep can only summon back level 4 or lower. And as you can see, the count of level 4 or lower is extremely low. We have the 3 black metal, the 2 Battering Man Solar, the 1 Brotar, and honestly, I think that's it for the level 4 or lower monsters that can be special summoned off of Cross Sheep. So it's just never coming up ever in a million years. So I decided to throw in Dark in that spot, but hopefully I can cut this and put something else in. I'll think about it. Apollousa, this is just nice to fall onto after the fact. And then Access Code Talker I really like, because I had trouble in some of the previous matches. I noticed getting to game, but this lets you not have to think so much, and then saving that brain power for the rest of the tournament can prove to be very useful. So I'm all for using card space, card economy, I guess. Now that's probably something different. Essentially, 1 space in the extra deck to make my life easier in the tournament, which could give me a better chance to win. But if my opponent keeps on drawing Shifter every single game, then I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I know, cry harder, right? Finally, speaking of Shifter, like I mentioned earlier, it's just really good in certain matchups that basically auto-win you. If you can shut off your opponent's turn and then make a suboptimal board that they have trouble pushing through. Honestly, I think I just talked myself out of this card because I cut the Thunder package so much. I don't think this is good in this deck anymore, so oops. Lancia is crazy, though. Absolutely keeping Lancia. It can also keep your Gamma on field if you happen to draw Gamma Lancia, which is like an insane combo, and then you get to start your turn with 2 link materials. You used to be able to make Omega, but that's never going to come up. The other tuner in the deck is the Cypher and Gear Delta. Did I say Delta already? I meant Omega. You can make Omega. But yeah, Delta stops the spells. Not every day you're going to be going second, so these are in the side. But when you go second, you can put this in, put in the Lancias if they also lose to banishing, or to non-banishing. And you can stop one of their spells, and then you can keep your monsters on board and they can't banish, and it's just really cool. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And the rest is spells. The 1 triple tactics thrust to search stuff. The 1 Harpy's Feather Duster because we hate back row. The 3 Cosmic Cyclone because you must. And then the 1 trap card in the deck. I put this in the side. I think I might take out Escados and put this back in the main. Because we do have a significant amount of Bystials. And depending on how you end up making your plays, you can actually set this up on your first turn, and then off your Dragon Ravine, if you didn't need to send like Lord of the Lair, you can send your Saronir, and your Saronir can dump the Regained, so that this puts it in your spell and trap zone off your Regained, and then you can bring back Magnamut. I don't know how good your hand was, but that's essentially what that's for. You saw the 2 duels. I think I drew round 1 against Julian Levea, and then round 2 I lost to Sam the Destroyer of Peace-Eye. He was on Vanquish Soul. Yeah, I just lose to Shifter, so honestly I should be playing something that can... Actually, I don't know how this deck can play around Shifter, except to put more Thunder cards in, but, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to probably lab this tomorrow and see what's going on with it so I can bring it to the Thursday tournament. But, yeah, subscribe for more.